everybody, and welcome to Forward Motion. I'm Karen Allyn. This beautiful lady right here has published her own cookbook. She hails from Gaithersburg, but actually her history goes way, 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 way back further, and it's a really interesting time in our history that she has lived. But she's here to talk not just about that, but about this beautiful cookbook called Simply Elegant Southern Cooking: Recipes with a Gourmet Flair and the Influence of Family Traditions. And this is Claudine Shannon McDonald. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
This book obviously is a labor of love for you,
Yes.
because you took the trouble to combine all the elements of your upbringing, your roots, the traditions of your family, and the history of the times, and where you are today, into this book that is so spewing with the fabulous homemade beautiful dishes that everyone in their own culture grew up with. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Did that
yes.
make any sense? Claudine, thank you so much for coming. What I'm trying to say is this is a beautiful book of recipes that came from your family and the cultural upbringing that you had. And all of us have our own culture, and we each have our dishes from that culture, but you were able to transfer it to not just to your children and grandchildren,
Right.
but to the public with this book. So it's called Simply Elegant Southern Cooking, and I really appreciate your coming. Now, you're not new to cooking,
No.
but you're new to writing a cookbook, aren't
Yes.
you?
Mhm.
This is basically self-published.
Yes.
What's the name of the website?
Publish America.
Publish America is, and you can submit a manuscript to them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all ready to go. So you did all this work with the photographs, the recipes, the tasting, everything,
Everything.
and then you submitted to them, and they did it. So it's
Right.
really essentially a self-publishing publisher,
Right.
which is incredible in itself. You come from a teaching background?
Yes.
You taught
I
for
taught.
many years?
I've taught 40 years. and
40.
40
4-0.
years. 40 years.
Some of us haven't been alive that long. Oh, but not me. But anyway, yeah.
I taught at Gaithersburg High School for 21 years.
You taught cooking, right?
Taught gourmet foods.
Gourmet foods.
Bacon, creative foods, and all the foods classes. And I taught at Wheaton High School for 6 years and 10 at Sherwood High School.
At Sherwood,
Yes.
in beautiful downtown Olney,
Right.
where I live. So you actually, because we don't, see so many of those courses anymore, do we?
They're still in the curriculum, yes.
Yeah,
They're
nobody
still in
talks about them, I guess. They're always talking about athletics and sports and digital this and that.
Yes.
But that's, back in my day, it was called home economics.
Right, right. Now it's called Family and Consumer Science.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Facts,
Mhm.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
actually, now that I think about it, my kids are in middle school, and 2 of them have taken that and really enjoyed it, actually.
Yes.
Even my boy, so proud.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, so you taught cooking. Is that because you considered yourself a master chef or a really good cook, or just something that you've been doing anyway, and you just parlayed that into a teaching career?
Well, growing up, I always enjoyed helping my mother cook. We owned our own restaurant, and that's when my love for cooking began. With the restaurant, and I just loved to cook and help her. She was an excellent cook. So I went on to college and majored in Family and Consumer Science and Home Economics, and enjoyed it so much. And then we moved to Maryland after leaving Huntsville. And I started at Sherwood High School teaching gourmet foods.
Oh, that is so cool.
And I taught there for 10 years, and then Gaithersburg 21 years.
Wow. Well, the thing about that you don't know about this woman is that she is from Montgomery, Alabama, and she was born in the 1940s. I don't think you're
Right.
ashamed to say that.
That's right.
And the preacher at your church, before he became who he was Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes, yes.
So you are from the days of history where times were tough for black folks.
Right, right. Very tough.
And that's also, you're one of 7 kids.
Yes.
Your family, the restaurant you're talking about was called the Shrimp Boat.
Yes.
That really must have taught you a lot, because weren't you a little bit more sort of, shall we say, well-to-do than others, because your father had a band and traveled with his band, and you had the
average,
restaurant.
average with 7 kids, it was a lot.
Yeah.
So my father had a band, and he traveled a lot, and we helped my mother in the restaurant. But Dr. King came to our church when I was only 15 years old. I was a very young lady, a very young girl, I should say. And to us, he was just a 27-year-old young minister, and we were delighted to have that. And it really worked out because he organized the church into groups, and we had a lot of functions with him. And my birthday was